I did play a bunch of games, but not for any significant length of time.
Yeah.
Last week I talked about how, what are you doing on the watch, Pat? I don't know. I just want Witcher to come out. I'm going to play a bunch of bullshit and be miserable. And that's what I did. So let's fucking break it down. I fucking resubbed and quit FF14 within 12 hours.
Could you get your money back?
No, I paid the $14. It was totally worth it.
Okay.
What a great game. It totally fucking scratched that itch. What a fantastic game. And I was playing as a tank, and I was having tons of fun. And then I got to level 11, and it said, hey, go on a guild test, which is like an instance where it teaches you
how to... that's the bit where you unplug your computer and throw it out the window. That's
where it teaches you how to play as a party.
Yeah.
And in the very first time that I played as a party, as the tank, I almost died because the healer wasn't healing me. And I said, fuck this! Fuck this whole genre! I hate it! Why can't...
Like I said, throw the computer out the window.
Don't scratch the itch. Have the skin surgically removed.
Like, why can't every MMO just be early era WoW up to level 47 where you could just solo the whole game?
I hate having to team up with people in MMO.
I hate it!
It's the worst.
It's the worst part! It
makes me stop playing every time.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Serious.
Dude, it's the worst.
Every fucking time.
It's like, I know how to be a tank or a DPS and not a healer, because
it's an MMO!
Yes, but I want
No, shut up! It's an MMO!
I want the massive world, and I like the other people.
I know. Wooly, I want them to... Wooly. Shut up. Here's what I want. Here's what we want.
I love beat 'em ups, but I hate beating people up.
Hold on. It's very simple.
Name me a replacement single-player RPG with a world that massive
big
and detailed.
The Reckoning.
No,
it's not that big. This is what I want. I want them to rip out all the people and all the dungeons that require multiple people, and I want them to balance it for one person, and I want it to be an absurdly gigantic, super RPG
play the
that I will pay $250 for.
Grand Theft Auto.
Modded Elder Scrolls games.
That's why I play Grand Theft Auto, but it's not enough.
You want size?
No, I want the gameplay too.
Just cause.
No, you have to play the dot hack games on PS2.
So there was that experience. Going back to games or moving on, because as soon as I got home after the last podcast, I loaded FF14 up again.
Wasn't that just after you said I'm done with this?
Yes, that was just after.
One night fling.
No,
Pat, are you playing an Assassin's Creed game right now?
No, I'm not doing anything. I get it. Oh, that's
a joke.
Stuff. No, I quit because I ran what's called a guild test, which is randomized party tasks for XP, and there was a bad healer, and I was like, oh right, I forgot. MMOs mean you have to deal with bad healers, bad DPS, bad tanks.
Yeah, massively multiplayer online
and they ruin it.
That's the genre.
But I went back and was like, no, but it's big though, right? Like what me and Liam were talking about. And so this is a privilege exclusive to people that have a lot of Twitter followers, basically. But you can just brute force yourself, good groups, by saying, hey, I'm on this server, join a link shell.
Yeah.
And then a group of 20 people just are on that server.
And you're like, okay, I want you and you.
And it's like, hey, does anyone
else go away.
Does anyone want to run Brayflocks right now? And 3 people go, yeah, I'll run Brayflocks.
Now comes the easiest part of choosing your team, the cuts. You are cut, you're not even in it.
So, I ended up playing a lot of... By the way, I'm going to change that character name now, because now people are going to harass me. Thanks a lot, dickhead. And I couldn't get...
It was public.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was.
Not that it was mine!
How did you know? Dude, how do you think I know it?
People didn't realize.
I knew it because people were posting it. And I also didn't know that was you. I assumed that was someone else because it was in all the screenshots.
Well, now I fucked up!
Good job, idiot!
Anyway, I guess you don't like Triple Triad as much as me.
Christ! I saw, not even that, I saw 8 other screenshots and lists of...
Whatever, you can change your character name for $10.
You can say that, but he's the one that made...
No, you know what? If you're willing to fucking go to Ultros just to harass me, fucking kudos.
But if you didn't say that and just rolled, you would have been...
Damn it! This is just like every other time!
Yeah.
So I've been playing
also, people are calling your shit out because they're listing tons of games where it's you can get a massively single-player experience by playing blank.
Yeah, but I don't want
to play... Dragon Age
No, I don't want to play that one.
It was one of the ones...
Dragon Quake.
It's the wrong sub-genre of art and like concept.
Yeah, no, I tell you, Liam,
It needs to be-
Liam understands.
I know exactly what you want.
Because
And I'm looking at The Witcher 3 now, and I'm like,
it hit you, didn't it? It hit you because it's big.
yeah, it's really big. I saw a map with all the quests,
And then you
on it,
got
I'm
to be like, oh wait, this might actually be a good game on top of being big.
Someone say, why don't you just play Xenoblade again then?
Because I don't know.
They're like, it's exactly what
One of the
you
things
asked
I don't
for.
like about Xenoblade is all the quests, the side quests, are really generic, and they don't have any.
They don't
like,
even the
real-
flavor text isn't even as good as MMO.
It's
flavor
just like,
text.
hey, can you get me 8x? And you go kill 8x,
So-
and you bring back 8x.
So there
It's
is
like,
there is an
thanks, I'll
answer
use
to your
this on my
question,
wife.
and it's an answer that I
but
didn't
that's what I
expect to give
want.
you.
I want the big, deep world without the other players.
Okay, but that's what
So Matt and Willie.
And Xenoblade gets me a big,
Hold on,
beautiful
hold on.
world that I like, but the side characters.
Matt and Wooly, there is an answer to your question of why not just play one of these other games, and it's an answer that I didn't expect was the real answer, and the answer is that I want to play a Final Fantasy game. Because I really, really like
fair too, yeah.
I really, really like Final Fantasy,
Well, there-
and this is a really good Final Fantasy
And the
game.
cutscenes are great, and like a lot of stuff in 14 is fantastic.
It does this game has a main story. Like MMOs don't usually have main stories that have plots. This one has one, and it's not the best thing in the world, but it's better than half of all Final Fantasy stories.
They rebirthed that realm.
Birth is super hard.
And yeah, so I've been running dungeons and duty finding, and just jeez,
yeah.
it is like Monster Hunter. You're
Looking
right,
forward
Liam.
to Heaven's Word.
I am actually looking forward to Heaven's Word.
Yeah.
So this
So
event,
much new shit in there.
this eventually within. So okay, I'll just put the shame out there right now. I played a week and I have a level 35 warrior and a level 31 paladin and a
Wow,
level
that's pathetic.
and a level 15 conjurer. It's not pathetic.
It's not pathetic. That's a joke.
Like there are people that started before me and they're like, "How did you pass me on 2 classes?" It's like, well, because of fuck me. It's really good. And eventually it ended up getting to the point where people are like, we should start a free company. Mm-hmm. So there's a free company now.
Which is like a guild in other games. right?
On Ultros.
Yeah.
It's called the Stormfeelers.
yeah. Hey,
All right.
And the
All right.
the crest is a
right.
fist in front of like a brown lightning bolt.
Not bad.
why is it brown?
Because that's what
That's what they
Dreyfus put on the crest.
Okay.
Oh, Mr. Frost.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
He's actually the guild leader.
Oh, cool.
It's number 2 strong. A whole horse is right. It's better to be number 2. Because I don't actually have to run
But
the
you
free
get all the
company,
benefits of being
but I
at the
have
top.
the ability to change anything I want and ban people or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a really good MMO.
All right.
There's only one thing about it that's negative. 2 things about it are negative that bear mentioning. One is that boy, this game has the worst gold seller problem I've ever seen. Ever.
Worse than RuneScape?
Well, I never played RuneScape, but
Oh, okay.
that I've ever seen.
Okay,
Like, I
fair.
played, played WoW and Terra and some other one. Dude, it's the worst. Like, first of all, you have to turn like whispers or tells off because if you don't,
You just everywhere.
it will never stop. No matter how many you blacklist. And like, I was talking to people, it's like, well, why are you guys typing in busy before you every time you log on? Because my 1,000-person blacklist is full. Right? So when that doesn't work, you'll be running through a zone and start getting friend requests from guild gibberish. So and then the shout on that thing is ruined.
Yeah.
But luckily you can make your own tabs in which only your either link shell or free company can talk. So don't ever go into general.
Hey, have you hooked up with Billy?
Billy? No.
Okay.
I have not.
He can hook you
There's
up.
gold.
I know.
Because he's off.
Is
with
he
his own
actually
crew.
hooked up on this?
Yeah.
That's what he does.
'Cause I
That's
could
what
go
he does.
I could go for 20 million free gil. I could go for that. You need
Well, I'll tell you what. I know that he's like in a clan and super like.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's probably not the server. Like, I'm on Ultros because ages ago when I first started to play, I wanted to join the Gaff Guild. And I
Right.
did, and I rejoined it now. I rejoined it right before making my own, so that I could dye my Chocobo blue and then immediately quit. So thanks, guys. I appreciate you letting me back in. Now I have a blue Chocobo. I don't need you anymore.
Goodbye.
Making a blue Chocobo is the most expensive thing I've ever seen in MMO.
Oh, yeah?
Like, at level 35, the average amount of money that you will have is 100,000. It costs like 200,000 to dye your Chocobo blue.
I'm sure you could pay like $1 to fix that.
No.
I'm sure Billy could let you pay $1 to fix that.
Sugar daddy.
And the other thing is that there is some overlap for the rest of you guys, and that is, man, anytime you have to play with people competitively or fucking cooperatively, like, you know that guy who bitches at you for spamming fireballs? Mm-hmm. That guy's here, but he's a rogue. And he's bitching at you for not having good enough gear, even though you just beat the boss effortlessly, and he was the one who almost died because he stood in the AoE. It's the healer that yells at you for, you drew too much aggro. I'm the tank! I'm supposed to draw aggro! You're supposed to heal me!
That fits under the thing that they hate us because they ain't us.
But you have to know his healing limits, too.
Yes! That's why I drew those 3 guys. And that's why the healers shouldn't run to the... There are healers that you draw the guys and then they run to the back! Like, they run through the enemies to the back, near the other aggro ranges of other enemies. Then you've pulled, like, 10 guys and they're like, why you know Flash, these guys get aggro?
He's angry and jealous that, your gear might not be as good in spec as him, but you're better than him.
And just
Is Jenkins just a lifestyle?
Yes,
it's a way of living.
So there are so many specific things. There's the DPS guys who queue up for the duty finder but never actually select yes to go with you. So the duty finder prompt comes up and says, hey, everyone's ready for the dungeon. Everyone just has to hit yes. You wait on a minute. Oh, well, it canceled. Wait another 5 minutes. There's the fucking healers that start the goddamn dungeon. The instant you load in the dungeon, you see BRB bio, and they're gone for 10 minutes. Because they had to go take a shit, and they waited until the fucking dungeon procced.
All right.
Other people are awesome.
And the game knows this. The game knows that you don't want to do this. So they have given you enormous incentives to play with randoms.
Liam, feel free to cut in and take this dance whenever you want it.
I played Splatoon a little bit.
Liam, you should play FF14
Fucking
with me on my server.
Splatoon's so good. So good, girl.
It's good.
If you want to find out about what I'm talking about, just go to the Reddit. There's a post there.
So I played Splatoon during
forced them to sticky it.
During one of the 3...
I asked them to sticky it.
That's
different.
No, if one of us asks someone, it's basically forcing.
Oh. I asked Mike to sticky it, and a different mod stickied it, so that's not even on me anymore.
Don't forget to use referral code WoollyM.
Oh,
so I played Splatoon during one of the...
If I could get game time for... Oh, man. You guys,
what about you, Patrick?
Did you guys intentionally throw this to me last?
Well, I was going to go next, and then
by process of elimination.
Don't do that.
By process of elimination, it's either you or we skip you.
So I guess I should start with Wooly. I'm glad you're in New York, and I'm glad you're having a good time. But I'm also glad I don't have to see the look on your face with the next couple sentences that I'm going to say. Because I can just imagine the weird scrunch that...
Alright, I'm pulling up, I'm sitting up.
Webcam's turning on.
So I hit the cap 3 days ago in FF14.
The cap?
Ew.
Why don't you define the cap?
The level cap.
Yep.
And I've been...
You're all the way back in. There's no... This ain't stopping. Any excuses you made about The Witcher or that's all horseshit. You're just lying to yourself. You're lying to
play in a couple hours.
You're lying to everyone.
Let's say more than
That's
10,
a couple hours.
To hit the level cap, that means you're fully invested.
It's actually not that hard to hit the level cap.
No, but still, it's an accomplishment.
No, not even.
Oh, okay, then. It's nothing.
Every regular player has 20 capped characters.
Not 20, but...
Well, you're not a good player.
Oh, god damn.
You've went a long way since when we were at E3 and made fun of the Realm Reborn setup.
Yeah, I did make fun of that.
Yeah, I did too.
Enjoy your regression.
I am, actually.
But we weren't to know then.
No, because Realm Reborn at the time of when it was being shown off, it was a fucking hilarious joke to the point where company emails were pathetically asking people to fucking beg people to like the game upon release. And I absolutely hated the game. Well, no, that's not. I liked it well enough when I ended up getting it right when it came out. and I played it for a week.
Do you beat a Realm Reborn or the original?
A Realm Reborn.
Okay.
And I got to the first dungeon, and I didn't know anybody in the game, and I had to use the duty finder to find randos to play the dungeon. And just what a fucking MMOs with randos is one of the worst genres that exists. It's so awful. It's the worst. But ever since I put on the Twitter, hey, I'm on Ultros. Anybody want to come hang out with me on Ultros? That free company's pretty big now. And I don't have to play with randos anymore. So the game
Ever since I got off randos, my sex life's never been better.
Pugs, fine, we'll say pugs, whatever. It's the worst. It's playing with randoms or pickup groups is the absolute fucking worst. It's game ruining.
You can't trust them.
Straight up, you can't trust them. Fucking bad tanks,
you give them an inch and they take
healers,
a mile.
bad DPS. Fucking.
But if their listeners are fans, then they're less random.
Yeah, considerably.
There's an association at the very least.
Because if you're playing in here's the thing. So there's your data center, which has like 50 servers on it, right? And those are congregated via all the duty finding things. So I need to queue up for Titan Hard or whatever, and you need 8 people. Say you got 3 yourself that you know. It's going to grab 5 people among all the other servers, including 90% of a population you can't ever deal with again. So you run into it, it's like, oh man, this tank is really bad, and I'm pretty sure his chat is turned off. And when we're telling him, bring him to the edge of the stage for 10 minutes,
he's not doing anything.
And he's fighting Titan Hard in the middle of the fucking stage and is getting wrecked. Not only
you make zero progress.
Not
it's
only
a complete waste of your time.
Well, we didn't wipe, so at least there was that. But not only is there there's nothing you can do now. You will never see that person again.
Yeah.
And as long as they walked away with a win, they're like, yeah, I did a good job. I fucking did it.
Oh, okay, but when you yell at these people, see them
you don't
so
have to.
You yelled at them.
Because half of them have been at the cap for years, and then the other half, I'm like, well, I learned a dungeon in one go, so I'll just show them.
Speaking of useless players, I saw this funny video on Kotaku this weekend about a World of Warcraft player who queued up for PvP and got into PvP, and the entire opposite team and remainder of his team was bots.
Yeah.
And they were all just running in a straight line back and forth while he tried to do everything. So it could be worse.
Yeah. That being said, since I've quote-unquote beaten the game, I saw credits roll.
Yeah.
So I'll talk.
You finished the story.
Yeah. Well, the launch story.
Yeah.
There's been like 5 patches that add like another 30, 40 hours of story, whatever. I'm just going to talk about that. That game is astounding.
Yeah,
that game is
fantastic.
amazing. That is one of the best Final Fantasy games. If you stripped out the other players, whose phone's going off?
It vibrated.
Oh no! If you stripped out the other players and like streamlined the game and like toned its like length down for like a single player RPG, this would be a fantastic Final Fantasy.
Oh, I'm sure.
And it has one of the best final levels in any. Dude, the final sequence, I don't know, like, it's been out for 2 years, and it's the ending to the story of an MMO. So I'll try and talk around it a little. There are plot twists in this story that legit got me.
That's good.
Like, I beat a dungeon or whatever, and then a hood gets thrown back, and I start going, oh shit! I can't believe
it was me, Austin.
It was them all along. Holy shit!
Nice.
This changes everything.
Yeah.
And you get to see what is essentially the final boss of the base game really early, in the game, and then you see why it's going to be your final boss, and then the entire last 15% of that original story is, yo man, that final boss is some shit. We better go do some stuff to get it. And then you get there, and it is a long... It's like a 90-minute dungeon with a shit ton of cutscenes and 4 special boss fights against judges.
Nice.
And there's a vehicle sequence, in fucking Halo or some shit.
Yeah.
And the final boss has 4 phases, and the music is incredible, and the ending is amazing. And it's fantastic. It's really, really great. Like, if you're insane, I blew through it in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's insane. I work from home speed.
Yeah, of course.
So, whatever. But if you like really like tore into it, you could buy the game for $30 and beat the story in your 30 free days.
But do you need teammates?
Yes. Yes, you do.
I don't want to.
Like, there's a... Everybody here knows Marlboros, right?
Yeah, of course.
There's a Marlboro dungeon, and it's a status dungeon.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a fucking nightmare with a bad team. With a good team, it's totally fine. With a bad team, your tank will die, like,
instantly.
Within 1 minute of starting. Because they'll just do a bad pull, and they're fucking done.
Mm-hmm.
But with a good team that people actually talk and party chat, like, it's no problem. It's a cakewalk. Wooly, you're totally right. I'm completely back in. I'm absolutely completely back in.
Well, I'm quite surprised though to hear the fact that it's a super good single player story.
Well, it's the same with FF11.
Yeah,
that
like they,
story.
they've been, knocking them out of the park.
So what they've done is they've essentially said, "Nah, fuck it. You're the hero of light or whatever, but Sid's the main character." Because he's a character in
he's someone who is fixed.
He's your Yosuke. He's your de facto actual protagonist.
Yeah.
Because he can speak.
Because he's not a created character.
And I beat the thing, and there's this huge, awesome sequence with all these bosses, and an absurdly long credit sequence. Mm-hmm. This likely has the longest credit sequence of any game ever.
But probably because it has the credits of everyone who made the game, than the credits of everyone who fixed the game.
Yeah.
No, that's not why.
Oh, really? Why?
Because every single person who played FF14 original is in those credits.
Oh, wow.
And there is a sequence in the end credits, the very last thing before special thanks, where it gives you A to Z controllable, and you move left and right.
Like Kickstarter backers.
But like 100,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's nuts. It's astonishing how much there is. So you hit 50, and usually you in an MMO, it's like, okay, I hit the cap, what do? I do the raid. Since I'm coming to it so late, right before the expansion, it's absurd how overwhelming the amount of shit there is to do at the end of the game. Mm-hmm. And this is why I'm fucked, and this is why I was up till 6:30 this morning running raids. Is because it goes from being an MMO or an RPG and just straight up just turns into Monster Hunter once you hit the cap, because it stops being about levels and starts being about gear, and it's exactly like Monster. And the level of quality to all of these extra dungeons is astounding. Like, I was playing the soundtrack to one of them.
Yeah. When
you guys came in, and it's amazing.
The production values are incredibly high in this game.
But not just that. Like, every single boss has some awesome gimmick.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a dungeon called Lost City of whatever. I forget the fucking last name of it. But the first boss eats party members, and you have to break them out within 10 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
The second boss can't be aggroed via regular mechanics, and you have to break ads in the stage to splatter yourself with bug goo, and then he'll aggro
and then
you.
He'll pay attention.
But if you get too much bug goo on you, he gets a damage multiplier.
Right.
So you have to kill them slowly,
right,
while dodging AoEs. And then the last one, you fight... So, this is the other thing. It's not just a Final Fantasy game, but it's the most fan-servicey thing ever.
Yeah. You can play as Lightning.
Well...
You can dress up as Lightning.
There's
and Midget Lightning.
There's two parts that I want to grab at. One is all the... Like, your super bosses are summons.
Yeah.
So, Shiva, Ramu...
Yeah.
Ifrit, all those guys, they're either bosses or super bosses. And they're all over the place, and they're a great version of those things. When you beat the game, you get a FF6 Magitech armor, and when you ride it, Terra's theme from FF6, like the World of Balance theme, plays. Like, every fucking part about this...
It's all in there.
Is in there. So you get to the end of this dungeon, and it's Diablos from FF8, and he's exactly the same, and he has all his attacks. And there's even a point in which an instant kill move occurs on the stage, and the healer, or whoever's not doing anything... has to find one of 8 doors that are all matching by symbols, grab 2 correct doors across from each other, then they warp you into an invisible fucking dimension, the attack goes off and you're fine. Like, it's awesome.
That's cool.
It's legitimately awesome.
Dude, people say Final Fantasy is dead, but it's...
Well, this one's going to last for a while.
Yeah.
And it's fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say about it, because nobody else here is playing it. and
No,
nobody
it's a
nobody else
fantastic
here
game.
likes MMOs.
Well,
but
it sucks because I like MMOs
Neither do you.
until I need a teammate, and I don't even like cooperating with friends. I don't want a teammate. I
okay,
do not want that. Like I want to. Play
so this
it solo.
game, like, I get like the dungeons are all really good except for 1,000 Mall, which is fucking terrible. But like the dungeons have to be completed in order to continue with the story.
No, and
Like-
that's why I've never really touched it because I always knew.
You straight up get to the point where it says, "Hey, go to the entrance to Tamterra and talk to this guy," and it goes, "Okay, duty finder unlocked."
Yeah.
For Tamtara, and the next story mission is use the duty finder to complete Tamtara.
Actually, you have to have another player.
The text phase is just use the duty finder.
Yeah, I get you.
But aside from that, like just everything about it, top to bottom, like they added in a patch a fucking Moogle delivery quest where you get Jotaro's school hat.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really his hat, but
it's a pretty close.
it's pretty fucking
yeah.
close. Yeah, it's fucking great. Like, I don't have anything else to say, and that's all I did with my week.
Okay.
But, like, Wooly, you sound like you actually might have a question, so please ask me anything.
Do you think it would be interesting if I found some YouTube videos of this story and watched it?
Yeah, interesting enough.
Alright. Because I'm legit curious now, but
Like,
I do not have any
would
desire
skew
to actually
towards,
play.
because there's the two kinds of story. Like, think of your regular Final Fantasy plot, right? There's gearing up to go to Shinra and take out Shinra HQ, but then there's everything that happens in Sector 7 slums where you're doing odd jobs and fucking dicking around and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you wanted the story cutscenes, that's like, I don't know, like 2 hours of stuff, and it's pretty interesting. But without, like, the boss fights in there, it's like, it obviously loses something.
Yeah, of course. I think it goes for any game.
Like, there's, like, a series of quests that are, like, 4 hours long, which is you stealing a Magitech suit of armor and then trying to get it to work with Biggs and Wedge. Everything in this game is fan service or a fucking reference to something. It's nuts. The Chocobo music plays when you ride a Chocobo. Like, of course it does.
Of course, I was
but,
about to say, of course it
but
does.
it did, like...
Doesn't everything.
Other games don't do that with their mounts. They don't give them music
Yeah, I
tracks.
get you.
Alright, well, when Black Desert comes out, you get to be disgusted at me, depending
Why would I
on
be
whether or not
disgusted
it's
at you
actually
for
good.
Black Desert?
Well, because Willie just wants to do the creative character, and then we'll just look at his creative character and then quit.
He's gonna spend 100,000 hours making a beautiful Korean girl and never play.
Oh no, I'm gonna design her house.
Okay.
as
Oh,
well.
you're right. You're
That's
right. And then ride an elephant around and never play.
Yeah, that's basically it. That game's fantastic. I'm gonna go.
All right,
I bought the expansion, so I'm in.
Heaven's Word.
Yep, I'm way in.
Heaven's
You'll
Word.
never get to Witcher.
As in towards the
No, I'll
Once you
just
not
split.
play it.
Now that I'm at cap, I'm on maintenance, so I don't have to rush as hard because there's a cap on the amount of shit I can get a day.
Right.
So that, like, maybe I'll start leveling some alts, whatever. But yeah, no, Witcher's coming out soon. So.